Hello, guys. This is Vinit from Edge-Forex, and I just want to give folks a minute or so to join, and then we will get started. There's lots to talk, lots happening in the market. A lot of chaos, I would say, is happening in the markets. It's unfolding as I speak. So, give me a second, give me a few seconds. Just let some folks join in because we are live on multiple platforms, and just wanted to give everybody a chance to join. So that said, let me also start. All right, guys. So, 1 second. Okay. All right, guys. Let's get started. And today is 18th of June, 2025, and today is Wednesday. And if you guys were following my live broadcast for the last few days, you would have learned that there is a central theme to my commentary, which is around the war between Iran and Israel, and that is kind of on a cusp of getting a lot worse because. And then I talk a little bit about how these events are actually shaping up the forex market, because at the end of the day, we are not political analysts or political commentators. All we care about is how are these events shaping up the markets, financial markets, and within financial markets, especially the forex markets, and that's what we really care about. And as we said, there a lot has happened within the last 24 hours. Israel and Iran, they are exchanging a lot of missiles, and all the major cities are being hit. At this point, they're taking equally amount of damage, but it's clear that Israel has an upper hand in this war. Now, what does that mean? Because Iran came out and said, hey, they want to negotiate a ceasefire. Sorry, Israel came out and said, hey, let's sit down on the table, negotiate. You guys give up your nuclear program, and then we can stop this war. Iran says, no way in hell, we're not going to do that. So now U.S. has decided to join this conflict, and now what's going to happen is they are going to go heavy-handedly against the nuclear facilities within Iran, and that is going to add another dimension to this war, which is not being discussed nearly enough. And that is what I think is going to make things really dangerous. Number one, they could hit a nuclear facility. It can have any amount of different possibilities. There can be radiation leaks, there can be a nuclear explosion, and then next thing you know, there's a wind, and then it's going all over Asia. So that can have very adverse effect at a huge amount of population. And remember, guys, Tehran itself is a city of 17 million people. That's a lot of people to put risk at nuclear waste or a nuclear explosion or nuclear leakage. So that said, if you guys want to look more into it, just go search for Chernobyl and then how it can render an entire area of, say, hundreds of square kilometers into a total wasteland. So go look up Chernobyl and it'll give you a good idea of how bad things can actually go if there is a nuclear leak. This is a leak, not even explosion. So all those kind of things are a real, not a distinct, a real possibility, more than a 50% probability event that is about to unfold in front of our own eyes. And once that happens, guys, anything is possible after that. And now another rumor is that Iran has got their own nukes, and that if that's what happens, if they decide to test it, or worse, send it towards Israel, who knows what's going to happen? Nobody knows. So at this point, the situation is very fluid. Situation is very dangerous, and the entire world is watching it very, very closely. And that's one side of things, and due to Trump tariffs, there is no trade taking place. So right now, there's only wars and rumors of wars that are actually taking place. There is no trade taking place. There is no innovation that's taking place, because everything is hinged upon how this thing actually unfolds. And now, that said, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of ships that are sitting in the waters, waiting for these trade resolutions so they can go unload their goods onto the U.S. Shores. And now there are millions and billions worth of goods that have gone bad because they were edibles. They were like fruits and vegetables and all kind of food items that they couldn't deliver because of these Trump tariff wars. So things are really ugly. Either there are real wars that are going on, or there are tariff wars that are going on. So things are getting really, really ugly by the day. They're a lot uglier today than they were yesterday. They were a lot uglier yesterday than they were the day before yesterday. So everything, the graph is escalating at a very, very rapid pace. When I say graph, the graph of violence, the graph of uncertainty is growing very, very rapidly. Now, that said, now how is that affecting the marketplace? All right. So now let's maybe go into the 4-hour chart, and let me remove everything. Remove one drawing, and let me make this chart into a 4-hour chart and see how things are unfolding. Okay, guys, so let me zoom in. So the latest up move. See, there was a correction here before. So the real move started in February. Okay, so February was a bottom in EUR USD right around par, say 101, 102, and that's when the move started. And then it went up, down, up, down. So it's making, this actual move is making, let me show you guys. It's making lows, higher lows. So that's higher lows, higher highs. Higher lows, higher highs. Higher lows, higher highs. Higher lows, higher highs. So now that's where it ended up. So if we look at the RSI 21 touched 70. So 70 is right at the borderline of overbought. So we got really, really overbought conditions. So let me zoom in a bit more further into this. And now we are looking at the latest up move. Okay, that's what's most important. The latest up move in EUR USD occurred from the 9th of this month, between 9th and 10th of this month into today. So that's what we are looking at. So let me get rid of these lines so we can just see. Okay, so we know that the medium term since February till now, the move in EUR USD is high, and the move between EUR USD from even the latest, the short-term trend from 9th or 10th till today is also high. One thing I would like you guys to notice is that the second time around here, so if I look at this, so it's like here, making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, lower lows. So the momentum is not the same as it was before. Same thing here. But still it's making higher highs, higher lows. Higher highs, higher lows. Lower highs, lower lows. Guys, that's what we need to look at. When momentum shifts, when the trend is about to go the other directions, then it starts to make the opposite kind of move. So it did not break the previous high, but it did break the previous low. So now it's making a lower high and it's making a lower low. So now our confirmation will come 100% if it goes up a little bit. That is our confirmation that the trend, at least in the short term, that started on the 9th or 10th, that has exhausted, and the next move is down. So that is what I am looking at. That is what I am watching very, very closely. So when we spoke yesterday, this move was actually, we were going to write here yesterday and said, okay, guys, so we need to come back tomorrow and see how things are unfolding. So right now, it has made its first lower high. It has made its first lower lows. On our second one is going to be a confirmation. And on the second one, what it's going to do is also, so let's go back to the 9th, is going to do is our confirmation is going to be remove that drawing. Our confirmation is going to be the second lower high, lower low, and when it breaks this trend line. So right now is right hovering above this trend line. So it's making a lower low and it breaks the trend line, boom. That's our double confirmation that, hey, we want to take this trade. We want to go short on this particular trade. And our target is going to be, where did it go? Where's me one, guys? 1 minute, guys. Okay, our target is going to be from here. Sorry, yeah, here. Oops. Until here. So that is a sweet 500 pip move, guys. And it's going to be very, very, very short duration of time, that 500 pip move. And so keep a very, very close eye on this EUR USD. So especially today is the Fed meeting, and today is the Fed interest rate meeting. And if the Fed comes out and says that they are going to keep the rate lower, or they keep the rate same, because that's what's markets already priced in for. They're not expecting any lower rates going forward for foreseeable future. Trump wants the Fed to lower the rates. Fed is saying, no, we don't need lower rates right now because inflation is low, the employment numbers are good, economy is doing good. Why do you want to overheat the economy by lowering the rates? And that makes actually perfect sense. So as of now, the way things are, everything is dependent on his moving forward guidance that he's going to give for rest of the year. That and everything is also going to matter on the war that's taking place in the Middle East. Okay, so now if it's my assumption that if war gets really, really serious, people, countries, big entities are going to look for safe haven more than ever. And the currencies like, say, metals like gold, currencies like US dollar, currencies like Swiss franc are going to rise this time around, because this is not just a trade war. This is actual war. See, right now, I've been repeating myself over and over again that the reason that the dollar is going down is because there is too much liquidity available in the marketplace because of all these trade wars. Not enough dollars are exchanging hands, so there is no demand for the dollars to pay for the goods and services because of the tariff wars. And so all that dollar, they have to go somewhere. So they're going in the stock markets. People are just changing them for their own currencies. So everything else measured in the dollars is going high. Dollar is going lower because simply demand and supply. Now there will be a safe haven demand. So if something really bad happens, watch the dollar getting a bid. Watch Swiss franc getting a bid. So these two currencies, along with gold and silver. Oh, talking about silver, my favorite subject. Let's go look at what's happening in the silver market. All right, guys. XAGUSD. I love this metal, guys. This is my absolute favorite trade. One of my favorite trades of all time, right after gold, guys. Does it get any better than this? This is a beautiful looking chart. I spoke about it yesterday as well. So now is hovering right around 37. If I let me look at the long-term chart of silver. And see, guys, from here. So last high was about 15 or 14 years ago, 15 years ago. And from 11, 12 bucks to all the way to 50, it took less than 2 months. Oops, what happened? Okay, I lost my screen for a second. Yeah, so I am expecting the same kind of fireworks this time around as well, because when silver shoots, it goes for the moonshot. Even if you look at all the way back into the 1980, early 1980, late 79, it went from $3 to $50 in a matter of weeks. Here again, $7, $8 to $50 is just a matter of weeks. Now it's starting, is ascend again. So now I'm expecting to break that $50 and go towards triple digits. So now that's these. Why do I love this trade so much? Because nobody's talking about it, and it's unfolding in front of our eyes. Nobody's talking about silver. Nobody's talking about platinum. Platinum is another metal that is going crazy. So let's look at platinum. All right, guys. Same thing about, look at this breakout. It's looking beautiful. Historically, if you go back 100 years, 200 years, platinum has always been more expensive than gold. That is why you have a bronze card, silver card, gold card, and then the most premium card is the platinum card. Everywhere you go, platinum is always treated higher than gold, and gold is always treated higher than silver. Silver is always higher than copper. So it's copper, silver, gold, and then platinum. Right now, platinum is sitting at the basement bargain pricing. Right now, we can almost buy 3 ounces of platinum for every 1 ounce of gold. So I've converted some of my platinum gold into platinum and expecting a 3x return. But that is, again, another beautiful trade if you guys want to get into it. So now going back to silver, beautiful buy. Platinum, beautiful buy. Dollar index, guys, keep an eye on the dollar index. Also, let's look at what dollar index looking like. Okay, here we go. So it's finally catching a bid. So it was, if you look at the RSI, it's at 35, not too bad. It can go lower. Can it? Will it? Who knows? We don't know that yet. So let's go look at dollar index on a 4-hour chart. It'll give us a better picture as to what's happening with the dollar index. So let's go back to we're looking 4-hour chart. Yeah. So let's zoom into it a little bit. Now, what I see here is same thing that I saw with the dollar. So here it's started to make, for example, this is the high, low, high, low. So it's making a lower high, higher lows, higher highs. Now, if this turns around for like this and comes here, that's a confirmation that the dollar index has broken out. And if I draw a recent trend line of dollar index, and it'll look something like this. Okay. Remove one drawing. What you're hearing, that the sound is our trades closing, because we also, on our Telegram that you guys see, you should be seeing, if you're not following our trades, guys, you're making a big mistake. You are losing money by not making money, right? So every money that you don't make is something that you end up losing. So let's draw a trend line for the dollar index right here. So once the dollar index breaks this trend line, time to go long on everything against the dollar. So just as I've showed you guys how dollar is about, it's behaving like it's about to turn, because of all the geopolitical things aligning, all the technicals are aligning with it, and it's looking more and more probable. The probability is with dollar rising, not falling at this point, because